Good morning, everybody. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports, 710, seattlesports.com, Seattle Sports app, and all the podcast platforms out there as well, plus YouTube. Gosh, a lot of people on YouTube over the last week or so, and then 97.3 HD2. Yeah, with YouTube, you can watch the show live, and I think there's like a whole comment thing there where I see people that are... writing the typical wonderful, complimentary, nice things that you would expect in a YouTube comment section. That's really nice. We appreciate you. Thank you for saying such nice things about us while you're watching and listening to the show. And then, you can watch the clips and stuff afterwards if you like a good guest segment or something like that. So all that is available on YouTube. And, we're still nowhere close on the whole 4.7 thing on Apple Podcasts. But I will just say this because I did click through there the other day, and there's a bunch of low reviews for people that are upset about the commercials that we run on the podcast, and some of them have a political nature to them, et cetera. So I will just say this. I'm not going to dig into the details of that other than we don't add those spots in many cases. They get added later. So we don't really have anything. I don't just mean us in terms of like the four of us on the show, but like I think literally the company doesn't have anything. Like it's an outside group that ends up injecting those later. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry that you don't like some of the political ads that are on there. I'm not necessarily a fan of some or all of them either, but things happen and we're sort of outside of our control. So just let you know, hey, if that's a reason for a low review, totally understand. Okay, we're here. We've reached the end. We've reached the end of the baseball season. What'd you think? Did it go the way you expected? No? Me neither.
Oh, yeah, exactly how I had it.
Do you have this one pegged, Maura? 90 wins by going on an unbelievable winning streak late in the season, a down American League, a weird finish where the Astros are out, the Rangers are out, the Red Sox and Yankees are going to play each other in a wild card round. The Guardians and Tigers are going to play each other as well. A couple of divisional wildcard round matchups in the American League. At the end of it, you don't even have to play the 2 or 3 teams from the AL East. They get to just kind of hang out and beat up on each other in the divisional round while you get the AL Central, which is by far the weaker division than the AL East this year. Heck, I think there are teams that didn't make the postseason out of the AL East that are still better than some of the AL Central teams. So, yeah, I would say this is as great as it could be, right? Could you draw up a better scenario for the Mariners right now? You're reasonably healthy. There's some little question marks, and we got to find out exactly what's going on with Brian Wu, and Josh Naylor didn't play much this weekend, right? And Victor Robles a little tweaked, but I mean, for the most part, you're very, very healthy. You don't have any real major injuries that are like guys who aren't coming back. And the team comes in hot, playing good baseball, and with an opportunity to rest for a week while everybody else goes out and continues to exhaust themselves. And then you get to set your pitching matchups and line up exactly the way you want, and then face teams from an AL Central, one of which is not that talented, Cleveland, but give them credit, they're hot. The other of which is slightly talented, but is coming off of one of the most epic collapses in the history of baseball. Like, draw it up better. And I mean, like, you don't get to play, the White Sox in the postseason. So short of games against the White Sox or Rockies or Angels or some of the other god-awful teams we got an opportunity to see this year, draw it up better than this? This is unbelievable. There's never going to be a better opportunity to go far in a postseason out of the American League than you have right now. A lot of the perennial favorites are not as good as they normally are. And they're all going to play each other at the beginning of the playoffs so that you have an opportunity to not do that and wait. Oh, what a tremendous, tremendous spot the Mariners find themselves in today. About as good as you could possibly draw it up. And, you don't have to worry that they'd won like 18 straight. They lost a couple of games over the weekend, so you don't have that like, the roulette wheels come up on red 27 times in a row. Black's coming eventually. You don't have that, right? Just lost a few games. Cal comes in healthy. He gets an opportunity to rest a little bit, which is great. I would say he probably needs it as much as anybody. And I think they're doing the right thing by trying to have, some games at T-Mobile Park, and we'll run through that. Some of these scrimmages that will go down over the course of the week to just keep them fresh. Keep them fresh, but without, being on their feet playing in the pressure of a playoff game, which is what Cleveland and Detroit are going to have to do. And look, no matter what, you were going to have to travel a great distance in the second round. Right? All of the other teams in the postseason are far away. Pretty amazing. Cleveland, Detroit, Boston, New York, Toronto, every one of them on East Coast time. Every one. It's pretty remarkable. All 5 teams, East Coast time. But that, I think, is more of an advantage for you than it is for anybody else. They're the ones who are going to have to beat themselves up, go fly back and forth in the first round, and then fly all the way out here for games 1 and 2. So let's say, Detroit and Cleveland get after each other. Maybe they go, the distance in that first series, and then they got to fly all the way out here. Great. All the better. All the better. Well, you get an opportunity to wait, and then, you go back there for the next. Great. No problem. Sounds good. I think that works out pretty well for the Mariners. So again, everything that could possibly be like slotted into place for them right now is slotted into place. Incredibly impressive. Just awesome. As good a time as you're going to find. Now, I did say at the beginning of the year, this was not what a lot of us predicted, and I will go through some of that over the course of the morning. But I think it's time, Maura. We discussed this as a possibility last week. I think I mentioned it a long time ago, maybe, I don't know, not even midway through this season. It may be time to confess today. It may be time for Mariner fans to confess today. In the spirit of the great tradition of Catholic confession, in the spirit of Yom Kippur, which is later this week, the Jewish Day of Atonement, in which Jews confess their sins as well. I think it's time. I think it's time. Lyle, I hope you're ready. I know I am. I have comments today and some thoughts for Jerry Dipoto and other people that I thought did not do the best job this past offseason. And after winning 90 games, finishing with a first-round bye, number 2 seed in the American League with more potential to come, I have some comments. I have some thoughts. I have some apologies. I have some stuff to get off my chest. I can't imagine I'm alone. I hope not. I hope not. There's a lot of people out there that assumed intent. There's a lot of people who thought that some people either weren't trying to win or weren't doing enough of this or that. So at 9:30 this morning, start thinking about what you'd like to do. It'll be easier for you to enjoy the rest of the postseason. Think about how you would like to free your soul, free your mind, and the rest will follow. No, free your mind and get yourself fully cleansed before the postseason starts. Lyle, will you be confessing anything today at 9:30? You don't have to say what. Will there be a confession from you this morning?
I don't think so. I think it's just the same thing that I've said for months now.
You won't confess anything at 9:30. There'll be nothing.
I mean, I'll talk about they did a good job at the deadline. That's what I've been saying.
Wow. That's not how confession works, Lyle. Confession involves admission of guilt, admission of wrongs, admission of mistakes. I'm going to do it. I know plenty of other people out there will do it. We'll give you the phone number as we get close. I'll be very disappointed if my friend Lyle Goldstein does not have anything to confess. Maura, will you? You have anything to confess at 9:30?
I mean, sure. I went to Catholic school where they made me start confessing at like 5 years old.
So you're ready.
What's a 5-year-old? I was like, I don't know. I was mean to my brother. Like, what do you want from me?
Well, you can't confess that.
So I'm used to just having to come up with something.
All right. Maura will come up with something.
Catholic guilt, yeah, I'll come up with something.
Is there a little Catholic guilt? Okay, Maura's got some guilt, so she will come up with something. Lyle, we'll talk, I think, between now and then, and we'll see if there's something in there for you. So that's going to happen a little bit later today. G. Scott's going to come by. I did see a lot of texts over the weekend and a few tweets from people saying that they completed their homework. I appreciate that. There was a homework assignment on Friday to tell someone you know about how great Leonard Williams has been, and there have been a lot of texts about it, which
this
is
just
great.
like a complete, or are you grading? Complete, incomplete, or are you grading this?
I'm not grading. No, this is pass-fail, I would
Okay.
say. Yeah, I would say this is more of a pass-fail deal. Yeah, somebody says, I completed my homework today. I went and picked up my mom. I had dinner with her, and then she brought up Leonard Williams. She was like, who's the name of the guy who wears 99? And I told her that we were talking about him because she watched the interview where the lady barely came up to his elbow, and she was just blown away by how massive he is, and it was pretty funny. Anyway, my mom's 75-year-old grandma, she watches the Seahawks every week. Way to go, Mom. See, look, that's all I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about. Salk, I completed my homework assignment. I talked to my dog Dexter about the big cat, and Dexter decided to proceed with licking himself. Not necessarily the results I wanted. All right, well, that's a pass, barely. You're lucky it was pass-fail. You're lucky it was pass-fail. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back here. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. And then I think we got to hear the Mike McDonald stuff because, look, team's 3-1, and after a crazy weekend in which a bunch of teams started showing weakness, then yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons for some optimism with the Seahawks right now as well. So all that coming up. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 seattlesports.com.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
It's an interesting game, Dave, in Arizona, as it always is. It looked really one-sided. It looked like they were going to blow the doors off this Cardinals team. I mean, it was a tale of 3 quarters and 1 quarter.
Honestly, before the game, I was like, this could be a blowout. And it was headed that way, but then they just kind of let them back in. So, yeah, there were some things to not like there, but on the road against an NFC West opponent, I thought it was a good, solid win.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
The best managers are really good observers and communicators. Listen to your team, whatever they have to say, even if it's right, wrong, or indifferent. For me, that's kind of everything. I like to have my team feel like they're a part of something. They can contribute to the growth of this place.
The Lee Johnson culture to me is empowering all of your employees to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
For me personally, started with Brett and Todd. They identified, what their core values were about, and in turn that drew people with similar core values to him. It's why my dad wanted to come back here. When he got to a certain point in his career that just a paycheck and the financial statements were not fulfilling enough for him, he wanted to get back to where it was a family.
Love and respect aren't just policies. They're what make the Lee Johnson Auto family feel like home.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Toyota of Kirkland's service department has you covered as the summer winds down and the fall approaches. At Toyota of Kirkland, be confident in your brakes with the complimentary brake inspection. Get winter ready with a free battery health check, wiper blade installation, and multi-point inspection. Thinking of trading in? Get a complimentary vehicle appraisal. Stay ahead with the maintenance service plan at $374 plus tax. And yes, they match coupons from other local Toyota dealers. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com to schedule your service today. Drive safe, drive smart with Toyota of Kirkland.
O'Brien. Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Toyota of Kirkland's service department has you covered as the summer winds down and the fall approaches. At Toyota of Kirkland, be confident in your brakes with the complimentary brake inspection. Get winter ready with a free battery health check, wiper blade installation, and multi-point inspection. Thinking of trading in? Get a complimentary vehicle appraisal. Stay ahead with the maintenance service plan at $374 plus tax. And yes, they match coupons from other local Toyota dealers. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com to schedule your service today. Drive safe, drive smart with Toyota of Kirkland.
O'Brien.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, maybe not the finest weekend of the season for the Mariners. They end on a bit of a down note, dropping all 3 games at home to the Dodgers. Did it matter? Don't know yet. Probably not, but their seeding in the AL postseason was already essentially set. They'll hold the number 2 seed, and they'll play the winner of the Detroit-Cleveland wildcard round. Cal ends the year with 60 home runs after a quiet weekend. Julio, though, gets to 30-30, had an absurd second half. That milestone was meaningful to him.
To me, it's very important to impact the game in many different ways, and I feel like I've always worked really hard to be able to, for the ones I know me since the beginning, I feel like I wasn't credited as a speed guy and all that, so I just feel like I worked really hard for that, and just so I think it's really cool, 30-30, like not a lot of like guys get to do that, and like just to have the chance in this game to do something special like that, I feel like it means a lot to me.
Yeah, pretty remarkable. Gino ends up falling just short of 50. He ends with 49 home runs. Josh Naylor did get to 20 and 30, 20 home runs, 30 steals. Took most of the weekend off with some soreness, so hopefully he'll be okay. Same with Victor Robles. So this first round bye should help them rest up. Teams not going to take the full week off, though. They had planned a pair of 6-inning scrimmages at T-Mobile Park for Wednesday and Thursday. Tickets will be $10. Dan Wilson thinks it's a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, fans bring energy, and they bring an excitement and a competitiveness, and so having some fans in here will be great. Looking forward to that part of it, I know that it's again, we're trying to simulate as much as possible what the playoffs are like, and fans are certainly a part of it, especially here at home, and the electricity that they bring, and so we're looking forward to that part of it as well.
All right, let's see. Games 1 and 2 of the ALDS will be here Saturday and Sunday. We don't know times yet. Elsewhere in baseball, the Astros are out. The Blue Jays win the East. The Red Sox and Yankees will play a wild card series. Mets eliminated on the final day as Terry Francona and the Reds make the postseason.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, pretty good day to sit on the couch and just watch football yesterday as a Seahawks fan. Niners lose at home to Jacksonville.
Purdy stops. Ball is out. Loose ball on the deck. Did the Jaguars do it again?
Yes, they did. Rams squeaked out a win over the Colts. Thanks mostly to Adonai Mitchell. Just what happened to that? He's running. He made an unbelievable catch. He gets to the half-yard line and just dropped the ball. That wasn't even like a celebratory dropped it too early. He was just moving the ball in his hands, and it just fell out of his hands all the way through the back of the end zone. Totally crazy. I don't know that I've ever really seen anything quite like that. Anyway, Seahawks, Niners, Rams, all 3-1 now, with the Cardinals at 2-2. So there's your division. Ravens lose to Kansas City. They're now 1-3, and they've lost Lamar Jackson for a couple of weeks. Giants get a win in Jackson Dart's debut. They do it against the Chargers as well. So kind of further puts end to the Russell Wilson era there in New York, or maybe even in the NFL. And what's going on with Geno Smith? 3 more picks as the Raiders fall to 1-3. He's got 7 picks in 4 games.
Number one, take care of the ball, not throw interceptions. That's the simplest way I can put it to you. First of all, I owe it to my teammates, really, to go out there and play better. I felt like we had a great week of practice. I felt like the process was there. I felt like, I was feeling good about what I was seeing. The game plan was great. Guys fought their tails off. Guys deserve to get this win, and I let those guys down.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, not a very good game for him. And rumors percolating regarding the Seahawks secondary. Ian Rappaport saying over the weekend, teams are monitoring the availability of cornerback Reek Woolen, who could be the odd man out with the success of Job and Kendrick and the return of Eamon Worry. So that could be true. Teams out there may be doing that. It could also just be an attempt on the Seahawks' part, of course, to drum up or maybe magnify some interest around the league. Seahawks will take another day. They'll start prepping for Tampa, who lost to Philly this weekend.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Huskies kept it close for a while. Ultimately, couldn't generate enough against Ohio State. They fall at home for the first time in forever. Ryder Cup looked like it was going to be a blowout and then got a little tense yesterday as the U.S. team did come storming back in singles matches to nearly get the tie. They fall 15-13. A little bit of controversy on the course. Russell Henley's match with Victor Hovland was ruled a tie, with each team getting a half point after Hovland withdrew with an injury. I saw that Keegan Bradley was whining about it, and I would absolutely put it in that category. Dude, that's the rule. It's a gentlemanly game. You can't complain because it didn't work out in your favor at the end of it. I think that's pretty weak. And I thought Keegan did a terrible job, quite honestly, as the captain of the American team. The only thing they were good at was singles, which is always the concern about the American team, that they don't play well as a team and in pairs. And then he put out pairs that didn't have a chance to succeed. Terrible job by Keegan. And he even admitted to making even more mistakes.
I definitely made a mistake on the course setup. I should have listened a little bit more to my intuition, and we for whatever reason, that wasn't the right way to set the course up. We didn't expect the greens to be this soft. They were as soft as I've ever seen greens without it raining, and then especially here, it can get pretty firm, and they never firmed up.
Whatever, man. Whatever. That is everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Let's see. A lot of folks think Lyle does have some stuff to confess, and we'll see if that goes down later. Other people think I'm crazy because the Mariners have had problems for a long time, and one season does not make up for them. We'll just do some confessions. I think it'll be good. I am excited to get some of that off my own chest. It is up to you. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to. You don't have to participate. I'm going to, and I think I'm probably not alone among fans who had the wrong idea this year and think that it's time to remedy some of that. So we'll do that at 9:30. Lots to come between now and then, including Mike McDonald, whose team is 3-1, who continues to climb up the standings. And as you look and watch and spend time this weekend around the NFL, it was one of those weekends where all of a sudden some of those teams started to topple, and even New Orleans, who didn't win, looked a whole lot better, don't you think, in their game this weekend, maybe adding a little credibility for the win from a week ago? I don't know. Hear from the coach coming up next on Brock and Salk.
It's been 24 years since
The 2001 Western Division champions.
Mariners Nation, you've earned this banner.
There's no better feeling than
this. You know, we work so hard each day.
With a first-round bye in the bag, what's ahead for the AL West champion Mariners in the postseason?
It's a lot of great things ahead. I can feel it.
SeattleSports.com has the latest on the scenarios.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Dino was suffering from a rotator cuff tear in his right shoulder.
Part of the pain is like taking off my shirt. I couldn't even really button my pants. I could actually qualify for a shoulder replacement if I wanted to go that route.
He chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the commercials for Dr. Wagner. I did my research. I thought about surgery, but the recovery time was so long. I didn't want to have to be in a sling. I want to be able to retire in a few months, get back to bike riding and playing golf without any pain in my shoulder.
Dino knew from experience that stem cell therapy works. Dr. Wagner had already helped him recover from osteoarthritis in his thumb, but he's not done yet.
And now 2 years later, I'm having an issue with my left shoulder, so I've got it scheduled, and I'm going to go back to see Dr. Wagner again because it was so successful.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3%